welcome to Tunnel Vision. I am Adam Connor-Bourne. We've just sat down with our very good friend Danny. He's in the UK and he is a hilarious Yorkshireman. We wanted to speak to him about how things are in the UK and the mood as England go into the semi-final against Argentina. Danny, mate, is it coming home? Yes or no?
It's coming on. Honestly, it's coming on. Right, I'm in my 40s now. I don't remember a time in my life that the nation's felt like this and felt this positive. We are a nation of woe. We are a nation of negativity. Whether we like it or not, we love to moan about everything. We always see the negative. And for the first time ever, everything seems positive. The media seems positive. The players seem positive. Not necessarily the way they're playing is positive, but I genuinely think, hand on heart, it is coming home.
Did you see the smile on his face, Ads, when you asked him that?
I did. I've got to say, I'm not. He's got to feel it for both of us. As both Englishmen in here, I can't feel it. I'm not there. Is it mad, right? Is there flags everywhere? Are there people running around in England shirts?
This is England. Our religion is not Christianity. Our religion is football. It always has been. It always will be.
Big statement. I love it. That's a big statement.
It is a big statement. Yeah, I might get a bit of backlash from the Pope or the church, but it's true. You know, whether we like it or not, our stadiums are our temples, and British people, if there's one thing that unites us, it's football. Two things: football and beer. They're the two things that literally bring us all together. And when England are winning, even if they're winning shit, it just makes everyone happy. So the nation at the moment, the sun's out, the football's on, the beers are flowing. It's literally the best place to live in the world.
Ben, what's your political party, mate? I am jumping on board. You've got me.
Mate, I mean, my manifesto is going to be online today. Just click the link at the bottom.
Right, Norway game. Talk me through it. Did you watch it in a pub or did you watch it at home?
No bullshit, Dan. Did you watch it?
No bullshit necessary. Norway game. Okay, so this is what happened at the Norway game. Hang on, which one was the Norway game? The last game or the game before?
The last game.
The last one.
No, the Mexico game, right? The Mexico game, I watched it in a pub and it was like stupid o'clock. And me and Fran, my wife, we went to the pub and we watched it. And I felt so sick with nerves after the first half that I couldn't take the second half. I felt physically sick. I thought I was going to die. And I remember getting home, getting into bed, and my heart was beating. And I genuinely thought I was going to die because I was that nervous. And this is a guy that's not like this massive, like, I am Mr. Football. This is just a regular Joe, ordinary guy. So then fast forward to the Norway game. I was like, I can't go to a pub. I just can't take the pressure if anything goes wrong. So me and my family were at home and literally just cheering, you know, throughout our living room. So it was wicked, actually, being with the kids and watching it and them experience it. It was so good.
No, I think. Look, the better team went through in the end, but I think there's some controversial moments, wasn't it? I still don't know how Norway. You see them arriving home now, celebrating their World Cup, which they did unbelievable. But how they're not taking it further, the complaints, I don't understand. I mean, I think both Argentina. You look at Argentina versus England now. Both sides, you can actually say there's an argument there that in some ways they might not be there, given the circumstances leading into it. I mean, how the ball. I mean, FIFA's got cameras everywhere. And then no one's got this real footage of this ball hitting a cable, which I think we're all pretty clear that it's hit something and fallen out the sky, right? So I don't know. That's been shut down. England go on and score. The goal that was disallowed for me was soft, where Haaland's pushed and the defender in the box. I think England get away with that one. That was a goal for me as well. So they're into the semi-final, but not without some controversial moments, that's for sure.
Yeah. Danny, I'm going to pivot to you here, mate. And I would like to be as detailed as possible. Has Tuchel changed anything tactically? Or do you think he's just tried to keep it the same as when we were in the qualifying rounds?
Has he changed anything tactically?
Has Tuchel changed anything tactically about the England squad?
You're fucking doing me over here, aren't you? Well, first, I'm going to respond to Schmelz's conspiracy theory of...
Come on then.
Balls hitting, flipping, flying saucers and this kind of thing. The fact is, England won. Wire or not, push or shove or not, they won. End of the day. And that's a nation
true,
mega happy about. I didn't see the ball hit a wire. And the guy pushed another guy over. Of course it's a foul. Of course it didn't.
What would you do if it went the other way, though? That's what I'd love to see. Imagine the English fans if it went the other way.
There'd be riots. Bro, we'd be invading Norway right now if that was happening. Question. Tuchel, has he changed any tactics? You know what? England, for years, I've always played the same kind of game. It's a little bit boring football, you know, as a punter watching it. It's always been a little bit same. All the managers in history, it's just been a little bit boring. I do actually feel like it has evolved a little bit, you know. I actually rated Southgate as a manager. I thought he did the job. It got us results. Realistically, I don't give a stuff how we win. I just want to win. I just want to celebrate. We've never had this in our lifetime. Do you know what I mean? Where we can be proud of an achievement. Even if the getting to the achievement is shit, as long as the achievement we win, for me, job done. So I think the last game, the game against Mexico was brilliant. I think he set us up right, especially the last 30, 40 minutes is unbelievable. That tactician, you know, he could go down in history. You know, if we win the World Cup, like this is one of the best managers ever, what he did there. I do feel like we're a little bit safe in Norway, and I don't think we're at our best at all. I really don't think we're at our best. I actually really rated it when the subs came on. I thought they were brilliant. I was good to see Gordon go off because I thought he was one of our best players, but he must have been knackered, absolutely shattered. But yeah, I think we got the job done. We really got the job. And thank God Haaland went off.
Yeah, I think that's the key. Ads, if you look at it, if they get to the final and say they go on and win it, you're going to come up with all sorts of stories how great Tuchel is, right? Like there was negative moments before the tournament. You know, players that he selected, all the rest of it. And as you go through the tournament, even though it's the football may not be the greatest football in the world, and they always show at times what they can be. I think if you go on and achieve something, people won't care. Like Danny will not care. The fans in England will not care. They just want to bring it home, literally. So I don't think it really matters. I think he's got them. He brings something for me. He brings a different mentality to, say, Southgate and previous managers, because I really loved his response after the game in terms of, you know, it's a fantastic win. They get into a semi-final, but he wasn't happy. And I think that keeps them on their toes a little bit, because sometimes they feel like, you know, we've already achieved. And I think he pulls it back and goes, "No, we've got more to do." So, I think he brings a good balance for the team.
Yeah,
I agree. Did you see the interview with Neville and Roy Keane afterwards? They were like analysing the game, and they said
I might have missed that one. What was?
Well, Keano basically said that it doesn't matter how you win. Any coach, any manager will tell you it's all about the win. He goes, when we come into the changing room, where we know if we've got through it by the skin of our teeth, and we're due a bollocking by Ferguson, you know, and Neville's like, we got bollocked so many times, even though we won. He goes, but that shows the manager that there's still more in us. That shows the team that they're not stupid. They know they didn't play the best game ever, but they won. And that's all that matters. You know, at the end of the day, football is about results, and it's about getting more goals than your opposition. And they did that. Simple as that.
Onto the individual players. Talking about individual players, Bellingham's probably gone from a bit of a side story in Tuchel's mind. Obviously, nearly dropped not that long ago, to now scoring in his last two, probably being the most important player on the pitch. Danny, we're graced by the presence of a player who scored a screamer at a World Cup. I'm just wondering if you could talk us through Bellingham's impact in the World Cup at the moment and what you guys have seen there.
Well, yeah, you're right. You know, I remember watching Schmelz's goal in that World Cup. Still convinced to this day it took a deflection.
Dan, we've replayed it. We've relayed it in your kitchen. We know how it played out, mate. There was no touch. You know that.
Whatever it was a shit goal. But you scored a goal in the World Cup, Schmelz. I'm going to give you that. You've scored one more goal than me in a World Cup.
Exactly. You just said it doesn't matter how it's done, isn't it?
You know what? You're right. Okay, you're right. I can't argue with that. What was the question? Something about Bellingham.
He's gone from being a sort of side thought for Tuchel, almost being dropped not that long ago, to being the main man, I would say, especially in this last few games. Like, just talk me through the reaction at home. Like, how are people feeling about Bellingham? Do you think Kane's been affected by not being the main man anymore?
So I think there's two camps. Camp number one is every single lad out there is obsessed with Bellingham. It's on everyone's shirts. Everyone in the pub the other night, it was just like Bellingham, and like everyone was just buzzing for him. So that's camp number one. He has got the whole nation of 30 million lads fully behind him. No one is being negative towards him. You know, like you'll pick on a player and you'll be like, there's two camps. Oh, I think he's brilliant. Oh, I think he's shit. Everyone's like, Bellingham is the man. And then you've got the other 30 million people of girls that he is this heartthrob superstar stud that is literally getting the job done for this country. So we are so behind him. I have not met one person in the pub or speaking to about football that's got anything negative to say about him. The way he comes across, what is he, 23, 24 years old? He's still a kid. And he comes across the most mature, amazing, kind of like a human with talent that's undeniable. He's out of this world talent-wise. And if I was Harry Kane, I'm like, this is the future. You know what I mean? You know, I wouldn't be like worried at all. I'd be like, this guy's going to win us the World Cup, hopefully. You know, I would much rather win a World Cup with him on my side than be a little bit bitter towards him just because he's getting the accolades and he's getting all the attention at the moment. Mate, if we get a medal, we get a medal. If we get the cup, we get the cup.
Shane, obviously you've played at the World Cup and kind of been in and around that squad dynamic. I'm just wondering like how it is dealing with player movements, maybe being dropped, maybe being not the main person there, and like how you deal with that just as a player within the camp.
Yeah, look, it's obviously everyone wants to play. You know, it's. I mean, obviously, I was fortunate to go and play every minute of our campaign, but it would be tough to be watching it as well because you want to affect things, you want to be part of it, part of the action, and there's always that balance between the squad. You know, you have to manage that, and I think that comes from the staff and the leading players. But I think, like Dan said there, I think Harry Kane's probably the perfect player to have in that changing room. He's a leader. He's an experienced player. He doesn't care who's playing, who's not. They're all one team, all on the same page, and he just wants to get the job done as well. So I think they're managing that probably pretty well. You know, it's just a dynamic. At the end of the day, as the team continues and achieves things as well, it keeps everyone happy, right? I mean, but there's that hunger. You got certain players that always want to be the limelight as well. Do you know what I mean? I think in this team, I don't see in the English team when I look at it now, I don't see too many players. Although they're all Premier League stars in their own right, and they're all stars at their own clubs. In this national team, I don't see too many that are wanting to be the superstar. If you know what I mean, I think that's a good thing because I think in the past they've probably had big guns, right, that have come into the national team and not necessarily gelled. And they've said it themselves. You've seen how many interviews saying when they used to come into the national team, we didn't necessarily gel as well as we should have. I think this team they look like a proper team. Harry Kane's obviously leading it. He's not a big ego. He's a big superstar, but he's not a big ego. And I think, if anyone, I think Bellingham's probably got that a little bit about him. But you know, he's doing the business as well at the minute, and it seems to be working.
I know a lot of the lads that I know that are working in the Prem, they're saying that the players were preparing for the World Cup with the England squad well before the end of the Premier League season. So they were being given notes and video material and stuff much earlier than they otherwise would have been for any other tournament. And that was really noticeable. A couple of the analysts that I used to work with were saying that they found that a little bit of a challenge for their personal clubs because the players were already looking into the World Cup and looking at what they need to do in the training and the conditioning and stuff. So yeah, that was quite an interesting take. It feels to me like there's like a big team mentality, right? That's it. Tuchel is all about that team. However, it's the individuals now that seem to be shining through the team, and I wonder if we're just hitting that moment nice and at the right time. Argentina's going to be difficult, but I think we're moving in a really nice way. On the kind of flip side, and this is again for you, Danny, is someone who's in the country proper. Is there anyone that the country's sort of turned upon or is not happy with at the minute?
It's a good question because back to my earlier point about the British media and the British public just naturally being, we love a scapegoat, we love to blame someone, we love to find someone when it's not going well that we can point a finger at. I don't think there's anyone in particular that's got that. Obviously, you know, Tuchel's been absolutely bashing, you know, that Jed Spence, and I think that's just to get the best out of him. Personally, I've not seen any negativity towards certain individuals or certain players. You're in the pub. Of course, you're going to get some jeers of, oh, you gave it away or whatever, you're playing crap. But I don't feel, and like I said, touch wood, this is the first time in history this has ever happened as a negative British man. I just don't feel that we have that sense of kind of like jumping on the bandwagon of negativity for once, which I don't know if that's uniting us, you know, as a team. You know, Tuchel spoke about mentality, that big speech he gave afterwards. You know, I genuinely think we're all pulling in the right direction. And then afterwards, a lot of the journalists on BBC, ITV, and all these like podcasts, you could sense that the media were then trying to make a shift to that negativity. You know, they were jumping on the Bellingham / Tuchel kind of like debate when they were both saying opposite things, you know, and almost like having a go at each other without, and no one jumped on it. You know, a few of the journalists straight away, so like Neville and that, is like, you know what, you just need to quash this. Stop being negative. Let's just get behind them. You know what I mean? Because as soon as that negative creeps in, and all of a sudden you start attacking the players are going to read this. You know, they're going to pick up the newspaper. They're going to look on BBC News. They're going to see it all. And if they feel ostracised and attacked, of course it's going to have a mental effect of them. So no, in answer to your question, I don't think there's any one particular person that I can pick out that really is going to be the scapegoat. I genuinely think we're just behind our team, really, really, really behind our team, and just proud that they're absolutely smashing it, even though they're not playing the best football.
Looking forward, and I'll start you off for this one, Shane. So we play Argentina in 36 hours, basically, in no time at all. What are your expectations? Just to start us off, what are your expectations for the game? I just want to know what you're thinking about this game now, now that we're a bit closer to it.
Yeah, I think I've said it before, it is an absolute, this is a blockbuster, isn't it? This one. Like, I think if you look at both teams, if you look at who they've played to get to this point, I think you'd have to say that they'd be disappointed if they both weren't at this stage. I know it's a semi-final, but if you look at like Argentina to get here, they've played Algeria, Austria, Jordan, Cape Verde, Egypt, Switzerland. Like on any day, you'd expect them to beat those teams, so they should be here. But they've had a few, like in the last couple of games, against Egypt and Switzerland, there's been moments where you're like, I'm not so sure about this Argentina team. Then they find a way, you know what I mean? And they've scored 3 goals like in their last 4 games as well. So they score goals for fun. I just don't know if they're quite, something tells me they're not quite the Argentina of last World Cup campaign. And have they got the legs? They've gone into extra time a couple of times. I don't know. I see England, but England have to play their best. I think they need to up their game again. They managed to rise to the occasion against Mexico. They got the job done. It wasn't great against Norway. I think they need another Mexico performance plus some to get over the line against Argentina, because Argentina are always in it. They've got Messi. They'll find him. They just keep going. That Argentinian spirit that they've got, and they are a team as well, aren't they? Like they play as a team. They are a proper unit. Reigning champions. They'll believe they're the best team there. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but I just think something tells me England are going to do the job. But then when you look further down the track, I looked at it today. I don't know what your opinion on this is, Ads, and maybe Dan, you can jump in as well. But whoever goes through from France and Spain, they have an extra day recovery into the final. So I think there's 4 days for them between semi-final and final, and then whoever wins out of England, Argentina has got 3 days, and then the final. That is a big asset to whoever goes through first out of France and Spain, which I think France will go through. An extra day's recovery at this time of the tournament is massive. So that almost, gives them a head start, I think, already into a final, whoever goes through first.
From where I'm sitting, Argentina have played an extra hour versus where they should have played, really, if they'd done it in the 90 minutes. Across the 2 knockout games. I think one less day, if it is Argentina that go through, no, there will be. If it is Argentina that goes through, I think that's going to be a big issue for them, an extra day, especially in the conditions. I know they're not in LA anymore, and they're not in the super heights of Mexico, they're not in the heats of Southern America, but they are still in a very humid, very hot USA, and I think those conditions take it out of you. I wonder how many hydration breaks they can fit in between the 3 days and the 4 days, you know what I mean? Just kind of getting it through. Danny, mate, same question to you. Looking forward, what is your expectation? And also, what's the expectation at home? Obviously, you've said there's positivity going on around the country. Just to know how that is, mate.
So this is probably one of our biggest rivalries in football. Obviously, there's a lot of history politically involved in this, and then there's a heck of a lot of history from what that magician did to us all those years ago. And I do think Britain love to get revenge, and we love to get one up on somebody and feel quietly smug about it. I don't feel like if we come through this, we're going to be quietly smug about it. I think we're going to be very arrogant and very proud and let the whole world know that we have got revenge and we have won this war. And I do think, because what happened in Mexico, we were, okay, on paper, we were the favourites. If you went to a bookies and you were to put a bet on, England would have probably got, the more favourable odds. But everything was against us. We were in Mexico. We were against some of the best fan base in the world in a stadium where they haven't won in gazillions of years, whatever the stats are. And we went there and we won. And a lot of Brits were probably thinking, oh, we're going there, this is going to be against us. And they did it. And they proved to us as a nation that they can get through the hardest of the hardest. This is that next task. I honestly feel like this is the one. I actually feel like they're going to turn it up even more than Mexico. I feel like this is going to be an even bigger game for them. Just because of what's at stake historically. Like, mainly because of that, I know there's going to be the team talk. This is going to be brought up. The war will be brought up. The hand of God will be brought up. They will bring anything up to motivate their players, because these players are just like us. They're just regular lads from regular areas that want to fight for their nation. And it'll be like, do it for the lads back home. Do it for your grandparents. Do it for, your parents that were around when Maradona stole it from us. So I do think we're going to do it. I do think it's going to be very, 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 very difficult. They're an unbelievable side. Let's be honest, and you just look at their star. He's still got it. Boy, is he touching 40 years old? He's an old boy, and he's still
Top of the goal
unbelievable.
scoring charts. He's on 8 goals, isn't he? So
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I do think it's going to be a tough challenge, but I would love to see England come through this, and again, that underdog kind of mentality where you overcome David Goliath, whatever it may be. And I just feel like that's gonna be in our favour. I really do feel that's gonna be in our favour. For me, my money is it's a France England final. I'd put my mortgage on that. Okay. I really would. I think that's a dead cert. If the gods exist, I'm just praying.
How has this game not been changed by FIFA? Changed to the Azteca, by the way.
Yeah,
had to have changed it.
It's the best stadium this entire World Cup. It looks incredible. I mean, just on that, Danny, has anyone from FIFA called you to get in touch and do the motivational speech for the England team at half time, maybe?
Yeah, I've had a few missed calls whilst I've been on this podcast, to be fair, a few numbers that I don't recognise. So I'm just waiting for a TT, that's what we call him, to give me the call and get me in for that, half time. I'll bring the oranges, cut them into nice segments, take the pips out, and I'll give them the talk of their life, because this is what they need. This is what the nation need. Do it for our grandparents. Do it for that hand of God. You know what I mean? And that's going to be plastered all over the back page and front page of every news article, every kind of media outlet. I know it is. And I would love it if it was something controversial that got us through. I would love it. A VAI overturned or something like that. We would take that. We'd be like riding off that for the next 100 years. We're still riding off the 66 World Cup. No one wasn't even alive.
That's true.
Danny, mate, you've got to... Right, it's cold in Australia, most of Australia, and I'm not at home, and England has the best pubs in the entire world. Please tell me where you're watching it, and don't make an error and watch it anywhere else bar a pub, please.
So I've got two options here. I go into Leeds City Centre and watch it there at a really cool bar. That's my number one, kind of like, that's where I want to go. Number two, local village. They've got a wicked pub I went to the other night. It's going to be in a pub, 100%. I went into the pub last night. It's called Potting Shed. It's a local little village pub. And I said, can you bring kids in? Because my kids flipping want to watch it. And they're like, they can stay till 9 o'clock. I was like, brilliant. I'll boot them out at 9 o'clock. They can walk home. I'll stay and watch the second half. So I think we might go for that. Take the kids for the first half, ditch them. They can walk home. And then me and Fran and a few mates will stay out and have a few shandies.
What time is the game? What time is it on?
8 p.m. 8 p.m. And kids are only allowed in pubs in England till 9 o'clock, which is stupid.
Perfect. Yeah, it's like a perfect time. It's just FIFA have done us a favour there, I think.
Yeah, of course.
It's unreal. Right, we got to talk about it because it's going to happen. Penalties. Shane, what are you saying? If it goes pens, like you've obviously said for England get through, but I just have no confidence in it.
Look at Danny's face change there. Pens, they're done. They're done. If it goes to pens, I don't know. I mean, there's no answer for that, Ads. I think you've seen the state of the penalties this tournament. I think the key is keep the centre backs away from it at the moment. A lot of centre backs are missing.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, I think there's been so much pressure on teams because of obviously going extra time. We know when it gets to penalties, there's going to be bad misses. It's just part and parcel of it, and it's the luck of the draw, isn't it? It's who's got the most energy, who's composed, who feels the pressure, who doesn't. You can't get inside players' heads, and that's where penalties are won or lost. So I can't give you an answer if it goes to pens, who's going to win that one. Who's got the best goalkeeper for penalties? Debatable. So, I think it's just a flip of the coin if it gets to penalties for me.
Anyway, maybe from how the nation's going to feel, if you're stood in that pub or that very cool bar in Leeds City Centre and penalties happen, what are you saying? Do you think the entire bar is just going to be on tenterhooks, or do you think
Dan's just leaving? Dan's going home.
Yeah.
It's filling me with anxiety. When I said the other night, I almost had a heart attack. This isn't an exaggeration. I genuinely thought I was going to die. I thought there was a moment where I am going to die because my heart was pounding out of my chest. I remember Queensbury Celtic, 1991. I was 11 years old, and we had a pre-season. We had like a penalty shootout, and the winner of the penalty shootout became the penalty taker for the whole year. And I won this penalty shootout, believe it or not. Schmelz, don't laugh.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I know. So I was in the penalty taker for the whole of the season. Anyway, we didn't get a penalty the whole season until our final cup game at the end of the season. And I'm the man. I've literally bashed every single penalty in pre-season. I get there as 11-year-old, step up, every single bit of confidence. I'm going to score this. And I remember running up to the ball, kicking it, and it trickled. But not just I'm talking, it didn't even hit the goal line. And ever since that day, I've never taken a penalty since because my confidence was completely shot. My point being is, these guys are elite athletes, and even elite athletes have a moment of lapse, a bad moment, a confidence drain out, whatever it may be. And the pressure that's on them, it's not just the pressure of the game, it's the pressure of the whole nation, and they understand the responsibility that's on their shoulders. They get it. These boys completely get it. I feel sick for them. If it goes to penalties, I don't think I can watch. I think I'll lock myself in a toilet and hope to God that there's loud cheers, and then I can exit the toilet and party with everyone and pretend I've been a part of it. I don't know if it goes to pens, I don't know. Schmelt's completely right. You've got 22 of the best players in the world that are all capable of scoring absolute worldy penalties. It just boils down to every single factor in the mindset, when
Yeah,
running up to that penalty spot.
there's so many different factors to penalties in it, and I think there's been so many penalties during the 90 minutes and obviously extra time into penalty shootouts for this tournament. And watching, you can see the camera obviously when it goes on the face of the players, and sometimes you can actually pick. You're like, there's going to be trouble here. You can see it on someone's face. They don't look comfortable, they're nervous. And there's other factors like, I mean, even Mbappe missed a pen, right? He had to wait 3+ minutes. And I know, as someone myself who's taken plenty of penalties in my career, when you have to wait that long, it just creates drama. There's tension. You're waiting around. Your mind starts to think. And I called it before that he took that penalty. I was like, he could miss this one, and he ends up missing it. It's like there's so many factors to penalties, and I think, but most penalties are normally missed late in games when players are tired, and you got to think these players going into penalty shootouts have played 90 minutes, all the drama of extra time, and now it's penalty shootouts, and you've got the weight of a nation on your shoulders. So it's natural players are going to miss. Obviously you want to score. Some of the biggest players in the world have missed. Going back to Italia 90, Baggio missed in the World Cup final, the best player of the tournament. So it happens to the best of them. And that's why I just think, it's almost a flip of the coin when you get to penalties. If it goes Argentina, England penalties, I don't know who's going to win.
I've not looked at the stats, but it's got to be one of the worst World Cups for penalties converted ever. Surely. There have been some terrible, terrible pens across the entire tournament. Right. On to the business end. Quick fire questions. Danny, I'm going to start with you, mate. What's the score? England, Argentina, what are you saying? 2-1 England, yeah? Shane?
Yeah, I'm going with that. I actually said that previously, so I'm going 2-1 England.
Into the final, England into the final, obviously based on that score. Danny, who you think they're going to play in the final?
France.
France in the final. Shane, for you?
France.
And then coming into that final, who scores? What's the score? Who scores the winner? A bit more detail on that one, possible, please, Danny.
I reckon it's going to be a stalemate. It's going to be 0-0. It's going to be. I genuinely think it's going to be 0-0. I think it's going to be extra time, 1-1, and then the finals in penalties, and then we can then rip off the bandages of a nation and celebrate the hell out of the next month.
Yeah, Shane, same for you, mate. Maybe not in the same celebratory way.
I think Danny won't want to hear this, but I think France, or you ads, you both won't want to hear this. I think France will have the extra day recovery. They'll be slightly fresher. They've got an unbelievable front four, and I think they go and win the game. And I think the match winner will be Elise, who actually played his football in England and potentially could have played for England, but decided to play for France. So that's going to be the absolute killer for England, I think. He's someone who I think is the best winger in the world. I've said it before a number of times in the last month. He's had an unbelievable season. He hasn't scored yet at the tournament, but I think in the semi-final and the final, he's going to have a big part to play.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that is all from us. Thank you very much, lads.
Easy. Good to see us.
Easy.
Yeah, cheers, lads. That was great.